Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make an arcade. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you make it all the way until the end of the video, you'll get to see where we place this in Mini City. This arcade has a basketball game, two different kinds of arcade machines, a claw machine, and a dancing game. This is the amount of space required to make the arcade, and here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Begin by placing two blue terracotta in a row on the ground, 1, 2, and then dig right of this 3 rows, 1, 2, 3. We then want to dig 1 row further down, place some block of redstone in there, and then some lamps on top. Then, right of the lamps, place a blue terracotta, then place a black stained glass, then dig 3 rows in the ground going right, 1, 2, 3. On the end of this hole, place a blue terracotta. We now want to, on top of the redstone lamps, place 3 rows of black stained glass, 1, 2, 3. We then want to raise up the glass that we have here by 1, 2. We then want to place red terracotta on top of the blue terracottas, and we want to place 3, 1, 2, 3, extending up, but we also want to extend across the top here, join all the way down and in between the windows to give us this. Then, above the doorway to the right, we want to place a blue concrete, extend left by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, add another row on top. Then, behind this, add a layer of blue terracotta on top of the red terracotta, like so. We then want to extend the blue terracotta 1 row forwards. We then want to add a lantern underneath the left and right sides of the blue concrete sign, like so. And this is a good amount of detail for now. So, what we are now going to do is head all the way over to the right side of our arcade, and we are going to start work here. Begin by extending the blue terracotta backwards by 11 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then on the right side, add a red terracotta, extend left 2, add 2 glass, 1, 2, extend the glass up, then we want to add 2 more rows of red terracotta on top of the row that we've made. We can extend this all the way forwards and fill in underneath it. Then extend the blue terracotta at the top of the build backwards, and we want to make sure that it overhangs at the back of the build by 1 row, and that is the side. We then want to come to the back of the build, extend the blue terracotta at the bottom all the way across to line up with the front of the build. Then build up rows of red terracotta, 3 in total on top of the blue. Add another row of blue on top. Extend that out of the back of the build by 1 row, and there we go. That is the back of the build. And now finally, the right side of the build, or rather the left, as we look at it from the front, we want to connect the blue terracotta together, front to back, like this. And then on the left side, we want to add a row of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, red terracotta, 2 black glass, extend the glass up by an additional row, fill the remaining part of the wall in using red terracotta, and then just add some blue terracotta all the way up at the top here, like this. We are also going to fill the entire roof in using blue terracotta. Next, we are going to add some oxeye daisies, or your favourite flower, to the front of the arcade. They'll start from in front of the blue terracotta and extend all the way to the right, just in front of the window. We then want to dig out the rest of the area in front of the arcade and replace it using smooth stone. Then, we are going to add a layer of oak leaves along the right side of the arcade that just poke out one row in front of the entrance, like so. We also want to add a glass doorway to the arcade, so this is going to be set one row backwards. Along the right wall here, we want to place a row of black glass extending up from the ground, and then black glass pane along the inside of it, and then a suspended end rod in front of the center pane, like this. Something that we can also do, although this does kind of fall into the inside of the arcade, is add an additional row of red terracotta just along the top of the inside here. And last but not least, we are going to make the arcade sign. So throw down the loop, open it up, place a blue banner in there with some yellow dye, and the first letter we must make is A. So we are going to add the pale Dexter pattern, grab that, put that back in, pale Sinister, Chief, Fess. That is A. Next is R. So pale Dexter, Chief, and then the bend pattern, R. Next is C. So pale Dexter, Chief, base. Then we would have A again, but we already have it, so next is D. So first of all, we want to apply the pale Sinister pattern, grab that, put that in, remove the yellow dye, add some blue, and we want to apply the lozenge pattern, grab that, put that in with the yellow dye once more, then add the pale Dexter pattern, Chief, base. Now last but not least, we have to make E, so this is the pale Dexter pattern, Chief, Fess, base. And there we go, arcade. And we can just apply this to the blue concrete of the sign, so A, R, C, A, D, E. Perfect. With the outside of the arcade complete, we can now head inside and begin work here. First of all, we are going to rip up the entire floor and replace the glass block with a mixture of white concrete powder and light blue terracotta. We are going to place it in a checkered pattern. With that complete, I am also going to add some lighting into the ceiling. So the way that I'm going to do it is, this split between the window and the entrance, I'm going to leave a few rows, 1, 2, 3, of blue terracotta alone. Then I'm going to destroy this block, place a lamp in here, and from the back, 1, 2, 3, and then destroy this block, and then place a lamp. We could even separate these a little bit more, or we could add additional lamps, but I just don't want them to get in the way of any of the attractions. But the way that I'm going to choose to light these is with some daylight sensors. So unfortunately, it will be a little bit dark during the night, but we do have some cool stuff in here that will actually give us a bit of light anyway. So the first game that we are going to make is a basketball game. Come all the way to the back left-hand corner of the arcade, move to the right by 1, and then place 3, 1, 2, 3, yellow terracotta extending out of the wall. Then place a birch plank right of the back block here. Right of this, place a yellow terracotta, extend forwards by 2, add a birch slab in front of the plank, and then a polished deep slate stair in between the end terracottas. A stone button in front of the right side, and we then want to place a glow item frame in front of the left. Next, we are going to add red sandstone walls on top of the end yellow terracotta blocks. We want to add 2 of them and then connect them to the back wall using iron bars. Then we want to add light grey carpet on top of the bars and the wall, just like this. Then we are going to add a cobweb in between the back upper pair of iron bars with a sign in front of them, specifically an acacia sign. Then, last but not least, we want to add an orange shulker box in front of this to the left. You could even kind of like have one back here or on the end here, but I think that it fits nicely in this corner, so this is of course the basketball. Next, a good old-fashioned arcade machine. So leaving a gap of 1 to the right of the basketball game, we place a lime concrete, then a polished deep slate stairs on top. Then we are going to add a 1x1 painting in front of this. On top of this, a lime concrete. And then we can actually have whatever we want. So we could have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Space Invader, whatever game that you would like. Feel free to write it in there. You could even write a cheeky little hello or something just to see if people in your world are paying attention. And then lastly, we want to add a button in front of the base of this. And that is one type of machine. We are then going to leave a gap of 1 and then place 1, 2, 3 light blue concrete extending out of this wall. And then along the back here, above the light blue, we want to place a 1x1 painting. And then in front of this, a detector rail, a couple of rails extending forwards with a lever on the ends. So this is just a different kind of game. You could even add another concrete above this if you think that that looks even better. And on this, like, you could have like Gran Turismo or, you know, whatever you wanted to have. Like, I imagine this is kind of like a fun racing game, but you can have kind of like whatever you like. Or again, you could just have, you know, something just to see if people are paying attention or not. Anyway, no arcade would be complete without a grabber machine, so we are going to destroy this block here, and then below, block of redstone lamp on top, then a zombie head on top of this, but you can use any kind of head or skull that you like, or prize that you would actually want. Above this, an open warped fence gate, and then above that, we are going to add a couple of chains. In front of the head, a smooth quartz slab, and then left and right of this, we are going to add magenta concrete. Also, around the top of the roof as well, around the chain and connecting together like this in a U shape. Then we are going to add glass around this, connecting the magenta together. Then we have to add a lever to this, a button, and you could even add some item frames around the top as well, if you did think that that enhanced it. Now, last but not least, we are going to make a dancing game. So we want to place 1, 2, 3 note blocks along this wall here, and then we are going to add paintings above them. We specifically want 3 of Pinocchio, so this may take a while or not at all. And then we are going to stack some polished blackstone pressure plates on top of the note blocks. And then digging in front of this, we need to dig out a 3x4 block area. In this last row, stack red terracotta with mangrove fence on top, a purple concrete powder in the center. We then want to add redstone lamps to each one of the 4 empty corners, and then we want to place strategically placed magenta glazed terracotta in each one of the 4 remaining directions, and there we have ourselves a dancing game. So underneath these, you can of course light these up if you do so choose, but I'm going to leave them as they are. Now, the only thing that we could choose to add to the arcade is some heads on this wall. as we walk out, which of course would be prizes that we would win from earning tokens from all of our various games. There we go. And that is the tutorial complete. The last thing that we have to do is add our arcade to Mini City, and I have the perfect spot for it. We are going to add the arcade to the developing high street, right next to the grocery store. And that's it. I do hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I do hope that you guys are enjoying building Mini City as much as I am. This place is developing nicely. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.